Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I want to first start off and apologize that I didn't put out a video last Friday. Today's Monday evening, so that the previous Friday I didn't put out a video. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I didn't want to. I couldn't get myself in the mood to film, and if I'm not in the mood to film, I don't film because I don't like the content or the quality of the content. And I just didn't film. Just one second. Hey, sis! Oh, I think she walked in the other room. But, anyway. And I'm sorry. If this isn't right, I don't want to go into it, right? Like, I don't want to try to put out content that's just not good. So, I was like, no pressure, right? So, I didn't do it. But I'm back. And I have got some things that I am so excited to show you guys and to tell you guys about. So first of all, I am obviously, right, I am back from vacation. We went to Washington, D.C. And there's a reason we went there. So my bonus daughter was invited to George Mason University to participate in some conference program thing. I don't know. Anywho, so she got invited to that. So we paid for her to fly out to DC and stay, I think a total of 10 days. And she got to go to the Smithsonian. She went behind the scene. Just a second. Hey, sis! Okay, I'm back. But yeah, she got to go behind the scenes at the Smithsonian, and she went several different places, but that was the most interesting to me, was that she got to go like behind the scenes and see everything. And so she did all that out there. And then my husband's like, you know, instead of just flying her straight back, what if me, you, and Jalen drive out there, pick her up after the little conference thing that she goes to is over, and then let's spend 4th of July in DC, watch the parade and watch the fireworks, and then just road trip home. And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. I've never been to DC. And we had a blast. Well, so we left here, I don't remember what, on a Saturday? I don't remember what day. Anywho, so we left here, we drove to, it's funny because we went a certain way and we were making great time, and we were going to be there within just a couple hours, and then something about the navigation said that the road was closed, so it was rerouting us another way, and then by the time we knew it, we were in the backwoods up in the mountains in West Virginia, going around curves like this, that the roads are like this wide, and we're in our truck that's not little, and we're meeting logging semis, and my husband hits the brakes to get over in time, and I look out my window and there's like a 300-foot drop with no guardrails, and I'm like, oh my god. You know, and that took hours to get through there, because it wasn't, you know, like you could fly through there. You had to go slow and get. So finally we get to Royal Point, Virginia. Royal Point, Virginia. And he's like, let's stop. We're going to stay the night here, and then in the morning we'll go get Emma at George Mason. So we stayed the night there, got up, went to George Mason, which I think is in Fairfax, Virginia, which is like right next to DC. Anywho, so we pick up Emma and we go to the hotel. No, we didn't go to the hotel. It turns out my sister-in-law and her boyfriend were in the Fairfax area because they just got done having their vacation, and they went to war sites and memorials and things like that. So we just was like, hey, let's just meet for lunch. So we all met for lunch, and then they were like, we are ready to go home. So Matt and I were like, you guys get out of here, we're gonna go to our hotel. So we get into DC, and I will tell you, when it comes to the city, I can handle St. Louis. I love St. Louis. That's like that's my heart, like the city of St. Louis. Bigger than that, I am not game. I don't want to be there. I don't like it. And I've been to LA, I've been to Atlanta, I've been to Orlando, I've been to Chicago, I've been to Madison, Indianapolis, Memphis, all those. St. Louis is still my favorite. And I will tell you, DC was, holy cow. I am not a city person. And my husband, that man has no fear. Let me tell you, he will just, okay. So I know that you guys are like, what? So we had the hotel we were staying at was in the weirdest location. So you come downtown and you go around a roundabout, and then you exit the roundabout, and you go down this road that's like what I would call an alley, and then you go up this little bitty hill, and there's our the entrance to our hotel, and the road, like, our truck barely fit down it. It barely fit into the parking, the underground parking too. But anyway, and we're trying to get off the roundabout. And as we're trying to get off the exit, there's a construction worker holding a stop sign. And Matt, I look at my husband, I'm like, how are we going to get to the hotel? This guy is telling us we can't, or is holding that stop sign. And my husband kind of pulls next to him and pulls my window down. And I'm sitting there like, you are a jerk right now. So he rolls my window down, and he starts asking this guy, well, I got to get up there. And this is my husband, and I'm going to get loud because this is how it went. My husband's like, how do I get up there to that hotel? And the construction worker's Mexican, and I don't know if he was pretending to not speak English or couldn't speak English, but he was like mumbling something real quiet. And my husband, this is what I was meaning, he is not afraid to get mean, to get rude, to, be a city person, I guess. And he's like, how do I get up there? Blah, blah, blah. It just starts, and the construction workers holding that stop sign, standing in the middle going, I don't know. And my husband looks at him and goes, move. And he took the truck and went past him, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. I don't want to be in the city anymore. Take my country butt home. I didn't say that, but that's what was going through my mind. And I started giggling, and I looked at my husband, and he's like, what? Like nothing ever happened. It's just like, what, honey? And I'm like, I can't believe that just happened. I think it was one of those things you had to be there. But anyway, so we get to the hotel, and we get our stuff in, and so my husband, we have everything loaded on, and I mean, we have a lot of luggage because we're staying a while, and not to mention we had my Emma, we had Emma's luggage from the week and a half before we had even got there, plus we packed another bag for her because she didn't have any clean clothes. So we had two of her suitcases, my suitcase, his suitcase, Jalen's suitcase. I like every time we go somewhere, I pack my suitcase, and then I pack a shower bag. So that's everybody's shampoo, conditioner, soap, all that, in my hair dryer and all that into my shower bag. And then I have to, well, it's not just me. We have to have a box fan to sleep at night. Like, we don't have it blowing on us. It's the sound. I cannot sleep in complete silence. I have to have a sound going. So, and he does too. And so we have that, and we have a cooler, and we have all kinds of stuff on this luggage thing, right? And me and the girls loaded the luggage onto this luggage rack, and Matt, he comes after checking in and giving the lady our keys. which, like I said, we have a bigger Ram truck. And this little bitty woman comes out. I drive the truck. I'm 5'1", and you know, I wouldn't say I'm tiny, right? But I'm shorter, and this woman is shorter than me, and comes out with the keys to drive our truck into the underground parking. And I'm just standing there like, she seems pretty confident. I guess it's okay. And she just walked in there and hopped into the truck. And I'm like, oh, woman, you hit that truck and anything. Anyway, so we've got all the luggage on that luggage rack. And my husband is trying to get it through the door. So you had a side door, and then the turnstile. Is that what that is? A turnstile? What's the doors that turn? Hold on just a second. I don't know. I can't think of what the name of the doors are. But, you know, the doors that turn and one person goes into the one little triangle and then you push it and then someone can go into the next. Well, anyway, so my husband tried to go into these side, you know, just normal doors to go with the luggage rack. And the luggage rack wouldn't fit because his suitcase sticks out too far. No big deal. So he backs it up and then he tries to go into that. He tries to go into that turnstile door and he gets stuck. So I can tell at this point he's getting mad. He's getting angry. And he just manhandles, grabs that luggage rack, picks the whole end up and just like scoots it over, sets it down, pushes the door a little bit, grabs the whole luggage rack, picks it up again, and I'm just going. And finally he made it through the doors. And whenever I got through the door, I started giggling, and he's like, what? Are you laughing because I almost got stuck? I said, no, I'm laughing because you almost got stuck, and I so wanted to be the person that called 911 to have the fire guys come and get you out. Oh, anyway, he didn't think that was funny. So, okay, so we get to our room, we get unpacked, get settled down, and of course we all get hungry and go out to eat and all that. And so, you know, we do all that. And then the next day we went to go, you know, sightseeing, and we walked 4.5 miles in downtown DC sightseeing for a little bit. We went to so I'm trying to think. The only actual museum that we didn't go to was the Holocaust one, which I really wanted to go to, but we were told by a tour guide that you couldn't go unless you had tickets, and you had to get tickets back in months ago. And I was like, that was the one that I wanted to go to. Out of all of them that you could go to, that was the one I wanted to go to, was the Holocaust Museum. Everybody else wanted to go to the other ones, which, you know, I kind of did too, but that was the main one I wanted to go to. And we didn't go. Well, later on, before we left DC, I found out that we could have gone to it. We just had to go to the door, go online, get the tickets, show them that I got the tickets, and they'd let us in. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Anyway, so we went to the Natural History Museum, the Smithsonian, and you guys, I cried. I did. I got so excited. I don't remember which, the Smithsonian. We went into the Smithsonian, and there was it's in sections, right? And there was one section that was, cultural stuff, you know, pop culture things from the past and today that you could see. And we're looking at everything, and I saw Judy Garland. I saw her ruby slippers, and I saw the bronze cast of the ruby slippers too, and some other things like that, you know. And I'm looking, and I got my head turned this way, and I'm looking, and I turned this way, and I saw sorry about that. It makes me emotional now thinking about it. I turned, and there sat Archie Bunker and Edith Bunker's chairs from All in the Family. And for those of you that don't know, I am a huge fan of Archie Bunker. Well, I should say Carol O'Connor, because I knew so I had never seen All in the Family. I had always seen In the Heat of the Night, and that's how I knew Carol O'Connor. And that I loved him in that because, long story short, my twin sister and I were raised by my grandma, my dad's mom, and my dad's mom always watched that. So that's how I knew Carol O'Connor, and that's how I loved him. And then fast forward of several years, my husband and I get together, and he's like, "Oh, honey, you know, if you like Carol O'Connor, you need to watch All in the Family." And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. And finally, he made me watch it, and I'm like, I love this. And a little bit of fun fact about me, I can do the exact what is impersonation of Edith singing the theme song. I can sing that song just like her, and I can sound just like her. I won't do it unless I've had a couple beers, because it's yeah. Something you do it with family gatherings to get a laugh, I guess, and when you've had too many to drink. Anyway, so I saw that, and I got pictures of that, and I was just like, that made my day. And then we went to all the other museums, and then we walked all the way back to the hotel. And like I said, I think that day we walked 4.5 miles. And then the next day we went on a, this eye has been bothering me. We went on a bus tour, and then we went to the Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson. Wait, did we go to the Jefferson? No, we didn't. We went by it. But we went to the Lincoln Memorial, and then we went to the, is it the Remembrance Pond? Oh, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the Remembrance Pond. And then we went to the, the Vietnam Wall. We went to that, and I found a couple of my relatives on there. And then, we wanted to go somewhere else, but it was so miserably hot that day, and we were just like, okay, we're done. Let's get on this bus, get back home, get back to the stopping point for the bus, and then walk, you know, the whole however long that is back to the hotel. That day we walked 7.5 miles, or 7 miles. Yeah, 7 miles that day. My feet didn't hurt, but my calves, oh man, my calves hurt. And like I'd get up and I'd be like tiptoeing, like, honey, it hurts so bad. And then the next day, that was the 4th. So the very next day was the 4th. And we left our hotel, went downtown, and we left early because we wanted to get good seats. I wanted to get good seats because I wanted to watch the parade, and I wanted to see all those bands. Oh, I was so excited to see all the bands. And we get down there, and we get a good seat, and the parade starts, and it's awesome. And I felt so bad for those kids, those girls, and you know, those people, those kids walking were just pouring sweat, and some of them, you could tell they wanted to give up, they wanted to cry. Well, and we were farther towards the end, maybe like, you know, if you had 3 parts of the parade, beginning, middle, and end, we were like between the middle and the end, and they were done. And we saw schools from South Dakota, and from California. We saw some from Nevada, Washington, and here comes this band, this high school band from Hawaii. And would you believe it? Those kids didn't have a drip of sweat on them. Not at all. They were smiles, laughing, holding their drums and their flutes and all of their, you know, their instruments. And they were just smiling. And then here comes, you know, a band from the upper states. And they're just like, pet sweat pouring down him, and it wasn't funny, but it kind of was, because it was like, the kids from Hawaii were like, we're used to this, while the other ones are like, we're dying. Yeah, but I mean, other than the bands, I don't want to say that it was disappointing. It was I was kind of like, that was it? Because I was kind of expecting a band from each state, and floats with all this cool stuff, but it was kind of just several bands from this state, several bands from this state, a couple of floats in between representing something in DC. Like I think one of them was a book thing, and I was just like, I mean, I liked it. I was just kind of like, really? I was expecting a little bit more, but okay, I had a blast. So I should have started with this. Let me say this. My husband and I decided we wanted to leave early to go to get a spot for the parade. So then at the end of the parade to the start of the fireworks was like 6 hours. And I told my husband, I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to walk all the way back to the hotel, to turn around and walk all the way back? It's not a short walk. It's a long walk. And, hope we get good seats to sit and watch the fireworks? Or do you want to stay where we are? Because where we sat and watched the fireworks was right next to where the fireworks were going to be. And where we sat to watch the parade was right next to where the fireworks are going to be. And he's like, oh, they're going to have vendors down there. We can go shopping and looking at cool stuff and all of that while, between the end of the parade and the fireworks. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. Then we can find a spot, sit down and chill out for a little bit and wait for the parade or the fireworks to start. No, they had nothing. They had food trucks that you would pay $20 for an ice cream cone. Other than that, nothing else. And I'm like, this is hell. This is hell. It's 100 degrees in the shade, no breeze, people everywhere, and nothing to do. And I was like, oh my gosh. So my husband and I are like, let's go find somewhere to sit now. Well, the one place that everybody was going to, they brought, which was by the, what is that called? Why can I not think of that? The tall, skinny thing. Sometimes I am such a dingbat, you guys. It's a memorial, but I can't. Anyway, they were all on that hill, and they would lay down and they brought umbrellas and chairs and, volleyballs and footballs and soccer balls and all that to play with, while they wait for the fireworks. And so they would lay down, and then, when they would lay down, right there's the fireworks. That whole hillside was covered. And Matt and I were like, what are we going to do? So we finally found a bench, 2 benches, 2 people per bench. And Matt's like, let's just sit here. So me and Matt sat here on a bench, and the girls sat here on a bench for 6 hours waiting for the fireworks to start. And believe it or not, it actually came faster than what you would think. We people watched, talked. I stayed off my phone because I wanted that battery to film the fireworks. And I had like 23% battery to film all the fireworks. It lasted an hour and a half. The fireworks were awesome. I'll insert a few things at the end of this video to show you guys, like some pictures and some video of fireworks and all that here at the end. I may shut off, if I can figure it out, shut off the audio for the fireworks and just show you the last few minutes, because I want you to keep in mind that I was not standing by myself where I was watching fireworks. There was a lot of people. Some of those people were dumb and were doing things that was, and had speakers hanging off their hips with music blaring that was blaring cuss words. And I mean, if that's your thing, whatever. Just, be respectful of other people. I didn't want to have to watch fireworks listening to some guy talking about a woman's ass. It's like, really? Come on. Yeah, so I may just cut the audio out of it and just show you the fireworks, and then yeah, and show you some pictures that I took of us around DC. So that's, the fireworks are over, and it is like, if you could imagine a wave of people miles long. That's what we were in the middle of to get back to the hotel. Oh my gosh. That, walking through that made me remember people are horrible. Horrible. Just, ugh. Anyway, so we get so far, and we get closer and closer to our hotel, and the girls start talking about that guy laying on the ground back there, and I was like, what? They're like, the guy laying on the ground back there, he was face down on the ground like he fell or had never got up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, Mom, you walked right past him. I'm like, girls, I didn't see a guy laying on the ground face down. And so then they were like, well, he was probably dead and you could have saved him and blah, 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 blah. Which, in all reality, he was probably drunk and passed out. But yeah, they just kept going on about this guy that was face down on the ground like he passed out drunk. And I never saw a person. My mind was straight to the hotel and get me out of this city. Anyway, so we get back to the hotel. And I am like, I'm done. I'm going to bed. I don't care if I'm a sweaty mess. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I just want to lay down and go to sleep. So we lay down, we go to sleep, we get up, and it's time to pack and go home. And I'll tell you what, we have never packed so fast. We got all of that stuff in the suitcases, got it loaded in the truck. In the truck, GPS just to get us the hell out of DC, away from these people. So we get out of DC and we hit the road and we get into the country, and I'm like, heaven. You know, it's quiet. But anyway, so we left DC, and I'm trying to get my geography right here. We left DC into Virginia. I think we did go back into West Virginia a little bit. Or, no, we didn't. We went Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky. Okay, so this is the shape we went. So, like, here's the East Coast. We went from DC to Virginia, the tip of North Carolina, into Kentucky, or Tennessee, into Kentucky, Indiana, home. So we stopped at all kinds of places along, you know, through those states to get back home. And we stopped every night. We stopped in North Carolina. Oh, is that right? I don't remember where the first place we stopped was on the way home. I don't remember. I think it was in North Carolina, and we didn't do anything that night. The next night was in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's like we drove through Tennessee. We went to Frankfort, Kentucky. And after that, we went to another city in Kentucky. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, we just road tripped home. And we stopped at a few different places. My husband really, really wanted to go to a couple of whiskey distilleries, bourbon distilleries. And we stopped at some of those, and we stopped at some antique stores, and I've got some stuff to show you guys. I'm probably going to do that in another video. I might just stop this one, start another one, and show you everything. This be Wednesday's video, and then antique haul to show you guys, which isn't really that much, but to show you Friday. But yeah, and so we, you know, we went all the way up there, and then the last place we stayed was in Evansville, Indiana, and then after that we went straight. We went, you know, I think we went to, I just remember we went through Ohio too on the way there, not home. I don't know. It's been, I know it seems to you guys that it was probably just yesterday that I did this, but this was actually like 2 or 3 weeks ago that I did a bunch of pre-recording, and some of them I did enough before we went on vacation, during vacation, and after vacation. So it's been a couple weeks. But anyway, so we got home, and oh man, I was beat. I was just tired. I didn't feel like filming. I don't feel like doing anything. And I was like, thank you, Pastelana, for pre-recording. But yeah, we had a blast, and I had so much fun, you know, spending time with the girls and spending time with my husband, and, you know, going to places I had never been before. I'd never been to, let's see, we went to, I wish I had a map, dang it, because I can't get the geography in my mind. Because we went to Ohio on the way there. I'd been to Ohio once, and then after that was Virginia. I'd never been to. West Virginia I'd never been to. DC I'd never been to North Carolina, and then I've been to Kentucky and Tennessee before, and Indiana. So I mean, that was a new experience for me. And you know what, I have to tell you guys, I'm going to make a confession. I'll say that. And I want to know in the description box, you guys tell me, are you guys the same or not? And I think I've known this for a while. I just now come to the realization and the ability to admit this. I am not a city driver. Like, I can drive to the local towns, you know, this and that, but when it comes to, you know, like bigger than St. Louis, I get too scared driving in. I'm lost. I don't know where to go. I don't know what I'm doing. And my husband's been driving in cities like that since he was 17 years old. So, you know, he has no problem. So he's the main driver. So I'm the passenger. And we have taken some long driving vacations. This was one. And then we've drove to Atlanta. We didn't drive to Florida. We drive to our property in Wisconsin. You know, we've drove a long way several times. And every time I pack crochet to crochet in the passenger seat while we're driving. And I can't do it. I can get the crochet out and I'll work on it a little bit and then I stop. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just I can't crochet and ride in the passenger seat at the same time. And it's not because I'm being like, you know, a backseat driver or something like that. It's because my husband's a damn good driver. It's honestly, I'm looking at everything, you know, I'm looking at the woods and I'm thinking, man, that's a pretty tree. Look at the water. Oh, there's a bird. Look at that bird, you know. Or I'm watching the cars on the interstate and, you know, I'll see a car or something. Or my husband and I are talking. Or he'll be like, look at that, honey. Or da, 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 you know, or I can't keep my mind focused on something down here. I want to look out the windows. I want to look at everything and see the signs, you know. Look at the landscape, like instantly through my mind I'm thinking whenever we cross the Mississippi going to St. Louis, I love looking at the river, looking at the cornfields, you know, from when you're at the top of the cornfields and you're looking down at them, you know, seeing the top of them all the time. And like, but I have to confess that I cannot crochet and be a passenger in a vehicle. I like to look around and not have my hands down here. But I came to that realization because I packed the Argyle shawl that I posted yesterday, and I packed the bed set that I bought off eBay from a woman Marketplace, I think. I don't know, to make, because a woman and her mom started it and they never finished it, but they had a bunch done, and I bought it because I wanted to finish it and I want it. And I took that project with me to do the bedspread and the bed canopy. Didn't even touch it. Didn't have time. by the time, you know, we would get to the hotel, whether in DC or road tripping home, I didn't want to crochet. I want to go to bed, or I wanted to eat and watch TV with my husband. Or, you know, in the vehicle, I had it packed right next to me, but I couldn't look at it. I spent too much time just amazed at the landscape. Oh my gosh, West Virginia and Virginia, you guys have the most beautiful hills and mountaintops, and I was just like, honey, look, and he's like, I'm driving. But I got a bunch of pictures of that too. Which I get so aggravated because I feel like the pictures will never do justice for you seeing it, you know, actually laying eyes on it. It'll never do it justice. And a lot of the pictures I took, the wildfire smoke from Canada, it was bad that one day. I don't know, one of the days we were on our way to DC. It was horrible. You couldn't see the top of some of the mountains because that smoke was so thick. So, you know, the pictures that you're going to see at the end, that's probably why they're not the best quality. It's because of how smoky it was. But anyway, so that was our vacation. We had a blast. Emma, that poor girl, she was like, I am so ready to be home. I think she counted up, she was gone a total of like 15 days. Or I don't remember what she said, but yeah, it was that poor girl. She was like, I'm so ready to be home. and I was like, I don't blame you. Because we wanted to stop and do a whole bunch of other stuff. And she's like, can we please just go home? Anyway, so I'm going to insert some videos and some pictures at the end. I'm going to go ahead and do my sign off, but you guys stay here and keep watching, okay? So I will see you guys in the next one. I'm going to stop this video, go ahead and start another one, and I'm going to show you everything I got at antique stores. And I hope you guys have a great day. You guys are the greatest. I love all of you. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think of this video. And I want to know, do you guys have that same problem? Can you crochet and ride in a vehicle? I think if I was in the back seat, I would probably be able to, but being in the front seat, I don't know if I could or not. I don't know. I'm too busy looking and seeing everything, sightseeing and looking at anything. all right, enjoy the pictures in the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.